Hey everyone, I am Ben Needham-Wood, Artistic Director for Boulder Ballet, and I am joined by choreographer Seiwert, who is the Artistic Director for SMUIN Contemporary Ballet and happens to be one of the choreographers for our Rebels and Innovators program. Amy, thank you so much for being a part of this program, and as you know, one of the big things we're highlighting is the mentor-mentee relationship and how we are building a whole new generation for this art, and so you have been super instrumental for me, and I wonder, could you share a little bit about what that mentor-mentee relationship means to you within this theme of Rebels and Innovators?
Oh, well, I'm very honored to be considered your mentor. We go way back. I first worked with Ben, do we know what year that was? 2010?
2009?
When he was a dancer with Louisville Ballet. He was very young, very green, very, had a lot of energy, that was fun to, pull together and use as a force for good.
That might have taken some work.
But, I've watched you evolve and grow from a very young, very talented, very eager dancer to seeing a choreographic voice evolve to something very own, very much your own style, very uniquely you. And to watch what you've done with your creations is one thing, and then to watch what you're doing here at Boulder Ballet and to see how you are building a community within that studio of these dancers who are thriving is just, it's such a joy for me to see. So to be a part of this as a choreographer is really cool, but just also just as someone who's known you for almost 20 years, just to see your growth and where it's landed you and how you're thriving in this moment it's an honor.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, actually, the whole reason I'm here in Boulder is because of you. Ultimately, my intro to Boulder was as a guest stager to stage Amy Seiwert's "The Devil Ties My Tongue," and that process was the introduction to everything here. One of the fun things about that ballet, in addition to by any other name, they were both developed within the Sketch platform.
Yes.
Sketch was a program Amy created in San Francisco for her company, Imagery, that was all about, how would you describe it?
I would say the Sketch series was, it had a mission to foster innovation in ballet-based work by really embracing risk. So choreographers who were brought in were asked to self-identify something they didn't know if they'd be good at it. So, you were supposed to, as a choreographer, try a different tool. And the idea is these performances were done in a small theater, and they were very well-known choreographers, very established voices coming in doing this. And the idea is, if you fail miserably, only 600 people saw it at the end of the day, and you could never do that idea again. You could be like, yes, I hate that tool, I never want to use it. But the idea was that as a choreographer, the more successful you get, the more people are watching your work, and it gets harder and harder to take risks because the stakes get higher and higher. But if we don't ever risk, we're never going to innovate. We're just going to keep making the same thing over and over again. So really embracing stepping outside your comfort zone, and we were so fortunate that we had a community of people who wanted to support this and come see it. And the shows actually always turned out really well.
The shows were great.
The shows were pretty great, but there was always the possibility of a train wreck, which I think is maybe some people were wondering when that was going to happen, and it never really did, and it doesn't exist anymore, so we can say that.
Well, I do remember Sketch 1, we had an injury about 5 minutes before the show started.
Yeah.
And we literally re-choreographed the entire production, or altered the entire production, held the show for 30 minutes to make those adaptations, and put on a show, and it was great. But that was a wild.
Yeah, that
first
was
year.
the last show of like a 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Maybe we only did 2, but yeah, the first show was great, and then we had that wasn't good.
Yeah. But I think By Any Other Name was part of, I think it was sketch 9 or sketch 10, but the theme that year was wrecking. And this was one of those processes that I think was really unique that you created space for, where the process of wrecking is where 2 choreographers essentially can go into each other's works and make any manipulation that they want to that piece. And then the original choreographer has the agency to, when they return to their piece, to either negate everything the other choreographer had done, or find a new pathway, or keep the changes and keep going. And so I got to wreck this one of yours, and you wrecked mine.
Yeah, we've wrecked each other's work. That process, it was created by Susan Renhorst, and it was really a way to give unadulterated feedback. I'm just gonna take what you did and tear it apart, because if I were you, I would have done this. And so that's what we did to each other's pieces. So so you wrecked this work, and because of that, you are inside of this work. There are places that I went to that I wouldn't have gotten to without your input in that.
And I will say that getting to wreck your work actually taught me so much more about my own understanding of movement, and it helped me really recognize that as someone who learned so much from you over decades of work, your language has been so informative in how I understand myself. And so that opportunity to actually dive inside one of the works that you created and have a voice within that really felt like an amazing gift as someone who is like trying to discover their voice in this art.
Well, and I would say wrecking takes a lot of trust, and because we have so many years in ballets behind us, I think that was built into it. I'm trying to like Rolodex on how many ballets of mine you've done. Do you have any idea?
It's, at least 15.
Yes, so you might win. Like, I don't know if I choreographed more on any other dancer. Like, maybe you and Aaron Yarborough. That's probably it. Yeah.
I take that with a lot of pride.
Yeah.